Last summer, I enjoyed James Gunn's Superman so much that it reinvigorated my love of comics. I read All-Star Superman, I read Mr. Terrific Year 1, and I read Woman of Tomorrow in anticipation of the next movie in Gunn's DCU, Supergirl, which was using that modern classic Tom King book as its source material. I loved every single page of the comic, and I couldn't wait to see it translated to the screen. And I still can't wait to see it translated to the screen, if anyone ever does a proper adaptation. The Woman of Tomorrow comic is bursting with colour. Every single panel is a vibrant visual feast. And by comparison, the movie is very dull and drab, with lots of cold blues and muddy browns. I get that they're going for a grimy, used future aesthetic like Alien or Star Wars, but it looks more like Rebel Moon, and that's one of the ugliest movies I've ever seen. In broad strokes, the movie is faithful to the core narrative of the comic. A ruthless alien murders a little girl's family, she recruits Supergirl to help her get revenge, and they go on an interplanetary road trip to hunt the guy down. It's true grit in space, but with more of a big sister, little sister dynamic at the heart of it. That story is solid, and it worked on the page, so it mostly works in the film. But it's really let down by the writing. James Gunn said he'd never greenlight a DC movie unless it had a working script. Well, this one never did. Kara and Ruthie have the same conversation over and over again about how revenge won't make her feel better. It verbalizes those themes, simplifies the morality, and doesn't have anything new to say. The film gets off to an exhilarating start, but then a flashback to Kara's origin story stops the movie dead. The opening scenes don't waste any time wiping out Ruthie's family, teaming her up with Kara, and setting them off on the road to revenge. It makes it clear that this won't be an origin movie. We're not doing any of that bullshit. We're just jumping straight into the action. And then it just grinds to a halt and goes back to do all that formulaic origin story bullshit anyway. The second acts of movies are usually the slowest parts anyway, because they're burdened with developing the plot and building up to the big climax in Act 3. But Supergirl's second act feels especially slow, with all these flashbacks crammed in between the plot development and the build-up. The marketing for this movie has hyped it up as a spiritual successor to the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, and it does have all the superficial hallmarks of those movies. It's got quirky humor, it's got a ragtag band of misfits, and almost all the needle drops on the soundtrack are bangers, perfectly matched with the on-screen action. But it lacks the soul and underlying sweetness that made the Guardians films feel so special and refreshingly sincere. The pacing in Supergirl is a mess. Those Guardians movies always knew exactly when to slow down for a quieter dramatic moment, or undercut the tension with a joke, or pick up the pace with a big action sequence. But Supergirl doesn't know when to do any of that stuff.
You stay the fuck back or I'll laser you, goddammit! I'll laser every fucking one of you!
The cast just about elevate a 2 out of 5 movie to 3 out of 5. They're wonderful and deserving of a much better script with much more exciting direction. Millie Alcock could not be more perfectly cast as Kara. She brings this rebellious punk rock attitude, but also this deep underlying humanity. And she has the charm and screen presence to carry a big tentpole like this. Similarly, Eve Ridley is perfectly cast as Ruthie. She brings that character to life right off the page. And she has a great on-screen dynamic and back and forth with Alcock. Matthias Schoenaerts, if that's how you pronounce it, doesn't have much to work with as Krem. He's a pretty one-dimensional, pure evil type villain, but he seems to be having a blast, hamming it up and twirling his mustache as a classical bad guy. Jason Momoa also seems to be having a blast, finally given the chance to play his dream DC role as cigar-chomping alien bounty hunter Lobo. And David Corenswet continues to play Clark Kent as a big, adorable goofball. He's only in a couple of scenes, but he steals every single one.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't I don't speak Kryptonian. I didn't never shoot. I wasn't raised there, so I wasn't raised there. Why am I talking louder? Let me help you.
It's not terrible. Kara and Ruthie's chemistry shines through the whole film and keeps it more than watchable, but it doesn't come close to reaching the heights of Superman. And it's so frustrating because the source material gave it the potential to reach those heights. It reminded me a bit of The Mandalorian and Grogu. I had a really fun time, but I don't feel like I was taken on a journey. I don't feel like I was transported to another world, or that I'd had a genuine emotional response to anything that happened. And I did feel all those things after watching Superman last year. So either James Gunn needs to personally write and direct every single DCU movie himself, or he needs to get better at the studio head part of the job.
Hit that director in the face. Really fucking hard.
Sorry, man.
Oh, ow, ow, ow. Oh.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.